Hello and welcome to the catch-up stage of the session. Yeah, so what did we actually do? It is quite amazing, really. I can't remember if the last session or whether this is a one long session. No, I think it is. I think we finished the grabbing the straw bales and all the rest of it last session. I think I couldn't swear to it. It sort of blurs a bit. Yeah, no, we did. Then we started and we had issues going everywhere. Those weren't. I couldn't get the rope factory wasn't right. I couldn't drop anything in, and that's because it wasn't right. It was nearly right, because if a mod's terrible, it won't even show the mod. If there's very bad errors, you'll get the red writing. I mean, if I switch the developer mode on like that, yeah, that's telling me that the rope maker store icon picture is missing. We've seen that already, and it's true. That's in red. So that's Giants are saying that's a very, very serious error with that picture. The picture is missing. Whether it is or not is another. It is. They're obviously aiming to produce a very good game. And obviously it is important to me, like it is to any other modder. And if I was producing it for the modder, which I am in time, but I'm working through this, I had a very quick switch, tried to get the mod working, and it was more important to me to keep the content going and to put that in to see how bad it was, to see as to what I need to do. So if all I've gone wrong on is with the picture, Giants, I can live with that. I will fix it, but it's not the end of the world. It was more that it wasn't working. So we've got it all working now. I went out, fixed it, swapped these. These are going to be the new model in as a replacement for... This is a large greenhouse, and it is really the small greenhouse that I made into a large greenhouse. But the fact that I warped it and made it large, and the planters likewise, I stretched everything. You can see that the actual plants, they didn't do anything... They didn't stretch with the planters and with the greenhouse. So really it didn't work as I planned it to do. But again, I was at the beginning of my modding, and I was trying to see what can you do, what can I do with things. Can I stretch them? Can I make them bigger naturally, or does it break the models? Can it, and all of that type of stuff. But really I'm going to settle for the tarp greenhouses, which really are fairly cheap. I mean, they're not cheap, but in real life the plastic greenhouses, you can actually buy them from garden centres, not quite this big, for just a few £100. They are really cheap. But obviously this has got metal work, which is all reclaims. So yeah, BI Industries will be releasing it at a very reasonable price when it's all done. But we'll swap these models out as well for those. But I can't find it at the minute, and I need to do a couple of bits and bobs to these before I do that. Like you can see through the manure layer. I think I need to put something under it. I think that's just the top bit that you put on afterwards, but at least I found the manure field plate. That's all that really mattered. We planted a field of oats, and the only thing that it needs is rolling. It's fully fertilised and everything else is okay. There's an awful lot of stones, unfortunately, in the field. We put, now I was going to show this before. We've got 120. They are 80%, so one more month I believe, and I think they all might be two. I think it's one, and I think they're then fully fledged adults, the same as those, and these ones are only a couple of months old. But we only need 40 more, and we've actually got a full enclosure, so that's amazing. We sold a load of gear which took us up to 72,000. We've put our rice flour, which is a year's supply of the rice flour, in there, and it's churning away. Does that look good? Not really. That's not terribly good. No, I might need to tweak the and that's the entire reason for me doing this, is like literally to tweak this until it's right, until it's not terrible but that it is good. That doesn't seem right though. 384 cycles per month though. Yeah, but so that'd be 384 times 14 for the total product. That's so... yeah, but I suppose it could have been late through the day or something like that. We'll have to see from a morning start till an end and see what that actually does. So, but at least it is doing both as well. That's the other thing, is that very first month you're sort of working backwards, because you've got to do your rice flour before you can do your bread. So it's doing a bit of both. But I mean, obviously there isn't much rice produced, so therefore it's not really a fair cop to actually work that out. We'd have to do it next month. We'd see how much. I'm not sure. Is it here, but that. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm at a loss on that one. Grapes and oils. We have. Great again. Likewise. These are really very poor. For I would hope the oil business that I'm used to, the standard, it does about a ton and a quarter, 1,250 odd litres, and I think that's not too far out. It's not. It's about 14, 16 tonnes a year, which for a small bit, although mine are bigger, so I suppose really we ought to tweak it on there. Grape juice likewise is terrible. Oh yeah, the cycles are really rubbish. Actually, I have not. These are the natural. Sorry, Giants. These are the natural Giants ones, and I obviously haven't tweaked them at all. I have reduced the loss. I think that's probably all that I did do was the loss. I haven't on that one. Oh, I haven't. See, that is just terrible. 14 produces 4. God, I bet that's like nearly a quarter. You're losing 3/4 of your product to produce your grape juice. It's not like it's going through a fermentation process. It's just making, I would say, at least 60%. I would imagine of almost all things, that probably is the most lossy of almost everything. But again, this is one where you could, the grape skins and all those types of bits could be made into pig food. I may well do that for this one. Olive oil again would be one of the most lossless, and I have represented that. The raisins, again, I would imagine you do lose a bit. I would say a third, so I'm going to change that 3 for 2, which is that would be right. And that is it. Yeah, those 3 things. So this needs tweaking a lot, because that just shows me how terrible that is naturally. And yeah, we need to do. Oh no, we were talking about it. The olives. Some of these we were talking about. Yeah, that needs all destroying. So that's another reason I want to get rid of the greenhouse, because 24 tonnes a year is what we should really have. And that's obviously, it's going to do more. So I want to get this. Well, I've tweaked it now. This should only produce 22, but there's 22 tonnes that we need to destroy, which was the 48 tonnes that we made last year, which I want to be realistic. I don't want to profit from like mistakes that are made. The rope maker, this I am interested in. Oh my life. I'm sure this is the right amount. I'm sure I tweaked it. No, I think I tweaked only the loss. So really, it only produced. This is based upon the big model. 341 litres of rope. Seriously, that's terrible. 2010 would be 2,400. That should be 4,800. It should really. It wasn't that late in the day, so something's not quite right with it, really. Could have been late in the day, really. So yeah, we'll just put it down to, oh my speakers. I've got a really nice set of, it'll be like advertising, of a very well-known manufacturer's speakers, and they are terrible for like switching off after a few minutes if there's not much sound going on. It's terrible. I just all of a sudden notice it's gone deadly quiet in the background, and I realise they've decided that I don't want them on anymore. It's terrible. I think I'll go back to using just the screen speakers. Yeah, I've had them for a few years, and it was meant to be a set of speakers I used outside, and I've never used them. I thought, you really ought to use them, but this is what you get. And they were the dearest speakers I've ever bought. Yeah, for me, it was a real, because I'm a bit of not a cheapskate, but I don't like to waste cash. So yeah, that's rubbish. We're gonna have to switch them off completely. They make no difference. It doesn't switch back on once it's gone off. So yeah. So really, that's all we really did this session. We didn't do any ducking and diving, no selling at all. But yeah, we've still got a bit of grass. I should imagine actually the meadow is at the minute pretty much keeping up with them. Yeah, they're not losing a lot at all. So that is quite amazing. And our businesses need tweaking. Some are terrible, so they definitely need tweaking. And obviously there's a bit of work for me to do on my live modding on this particular sort of Let's Play. So yeah, I'm well pleased though. I am very pleased. Obviously, you will see if you do watch any of the other Let's Plays that I had issues with this. It was a 4 models on one, so I thought, oh, let's just make like a large. So this is like the same as 4, but it's only like 2. I stretched them, but then I did the nice. Yeah, I completely changed the modelling on this. I'm quite pleased with that actually. This is originally the FS22 ones, but obviously completely done differently. But you will recognise if you sort of recognise the originals that this is those really. The original ones, but obviously much bigger. So it's the equivalent of 4 of the large ones, which is almost like the ones from the Red Barn pack that I fell in love with in FS22. I think it was FSG modding, I think it was, but it's fantastic. Yeah, so they're not too terrible. We're producing like 2 and a bit in a complete. We had a half of one of those, so 2 and a third pallets a day, which is good for bees, but it is a huge. It is a very large, well, 4 large hives really, and I mean the big ones. So I think that's not too bad. And of course we have got the best bees in the world for honey making, which are the Italian bees, which are renowned for being the best. They're a little bit temperamental, but they are very good at making honey. But that is where we're going to leave it, yeah. So I really do hope that you enjoy the rest of the session. Right, yes, the greenhouses have changed. I've left these too low for now because I think they would. I'm trying to change my meshes because I don't like the fact that it's not showing the bits and bobs inside. I have been busy on these. When I can, when we've emptied these, we'll replace the body. But what it is physically these are longer, and I think they're going to go straight into that. And there's no way I can actually. Well, there is. You can. That's something I don't know how to do, which is actually move the X, Y, Z coordinates down a little bit. It sounds dead easy, but it really isn't. So these ones I've got away with. I came in earlier, and I thought, will I? And it has just got away with it. They are longer. But I've changed the model because I prefer the look. Now, why is it not pull? Oh, it is. It's got the red. That's all right then. It's pulling the red colours through. I thought, yeah, earlier it wasn't working right. Has it got my BI Industries sign? And it should now look like manure, sort of. Yeah, there's. Oh, right, okay. It's only got sort of part. Yeah, I've got the fill plane, but it's not quite right. So I might put the dirt level under it and then put that on top of it. It's, yeah, the fill plane. Obviously, you can see that all of the stuff is overspilling, but you can at least see that the graphics of these ones are okay. I can change these ones as well, like I did on the last one, but look, you can see this is what I don't like every time you look. I don't mind the plants, they are okay, but it's the looking inside the empty ones, because I've made it bigger. So I think, I just wanted a large greenhouse. I was trying to be clever. And to be honest, it was right at the beginning when I first started modding. I was seeing, what can you do? What can I do with making things bigger and smaller and all the rest of it? And for like one of my first attempts, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, you can walk straight through things, sort of, to the planters or something like that. But yeah, I think this one should be solid. I haven't mucked around with anything. It was just mucking around with the sizes. Now you can see the collision. There was a collision in there. That's a smaller one. But this one should be right. Yeah, the greenhouse has got proper collisions. So everything should be the same inside. Yeah, the other thing I've also come to the conclusion. I don't know that it is. Oh, I think it's thrown it outside. Yeah, I did notice it did something strange. So this one, yeah, that looks about right to what I saw earlier, first thing. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we have got to, do we do this first? No, I think we'll leave the, yeah, let's do this in order of importance. Let's first of all get the baling done, and then we've got selling to do. Is that a little too loud? Let's have a bit of fun. Let's get this like the baling done and see how big the bales are, because it's strange, but these were quite small. We could send the Iseki up to the shop to get the bale trailer, which I don't think we did earlier. So let's do that. As in, I know I didn't send it earlier. What I mean is I didn't bring it down earlier. So if we just send that down, we've got a lot of work to do, and it is going to rain in a bit, so we need to get this sorted quickly. Send this up to the shop, and I'm going to say my words. There's a lot for us to do, and then next session I think we'll do all the selling, because that's going to be interesting. Right, set it right. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. That's not quite what I was trying to do. I was trying to finish the one bale off, because it's true, it's one of those things when you lease a baler, you especially when you're at 98%, I'm not losing that bale, but I didn't really mean to do a couple. I mean, we did pay for it, so I'm not like doing anything terrible, but stick this on the side and we'll ask the store to grab it in a few minutes, and let's grab these bales up. I don't know what we're going to do with them. We're not really... We're sort of... This is a bit of a different Let's Play. We could sort of get the self-sufficiency and make it into whatever we liked. Because, to be honest, I was planning on sort of sticking with the route that we've already picked. I always find it's a mistake if you go too many productions, but we've sort of already committed in a way to like doing bakery and the grain mill as well, so that's one already. Then we've also got the rope factory, which obviously we've tailored around the sheep, and we've also got the grate and oil place that we've obviously done around that, which I built this morning. So yeah, when I got in, I was determined. I thought I really can't stand the fact that these are half done. I found the manure fill thing. I need to sort of like try and find out how to use that a bit better. It looks a bit strange. I think it needs using with something else, but I did find it. It took me a while to find it, but I found it in the end. Quite a few bales, not bad. So yeah, we could sort of do something like that with them. We don't need bedding for like, but I say I've got the straw to manure mod that I sort of the recipe in the self-sufficiency, so that you can, as a farmer, like make everything a farm would desire. Yeah, I mean, it too can be a business, but we're not really into no. Well, we've got enough already, so we're quite happy with the businesses we've already chosen. I don't really sort of envisage we need any more at all. We're sort of bursting at this, and we have got a lot. The other thing is, I was said, and then I went on something else, as is my want. Yeah, the I'm going to throw half of the grain away, so that the only way I can actually manage to do that is if we sell it and then give half of the money away. There's not an easy way in Farming Simulator to throw anything away. So I think what we'll do, where do we stick these? Somewhere out of the way. Let's give the shop a ring before we get walloped for the cost of the another hour of that. It was, yeah, I really don't fancy being collared again. It is expensive, but saying they're smaller than round, they are still smaller than round bales as well, the 240s. Yeah, I don't get what. I mean, the only thing I can see is the fact that it's we could put on that bit of grass there. Half of the headland is ours. We could just stick them just there and towards the back. I do love the RQ sound for the way that it stacks them like that. It is quite amazing. Yeah, we're very fortunate. So we're going to have a square baler. I don't mean it nasty. It is what it is. We just need to find one of the sales because they are very expensive. Very expensive. Right, so then. We've done that. Yeah, we will. Now we can grab the little one. That'll do nicely. The Iseki can go on to the. We're going to go straight into another time lapse though, because this is going to be a bit of a monster. This moving the honey, and then we might do this over 2 sessions. I might grab the honey, this one on top of the straw. Do we set? I'm going to say really, autumn wheat. Right, it's going to rain soon. Yeah, I think we'll save that till next session. I want to think about what we really need to do. I was looking at my my trailer a little earlier. It's actually further done than I thought. So I'm going to have another go. Not today. I had a bit of a blowout with it. It very similar to the TPS, but it isn't not from the TPS model at all. And you won't see like any of that boxing there, or you won't see the box there, and the the trailer head's different. It's very much different. I think single wheel, or is it double wheel? think it's single wheel. I think so. It's not taken from this model, but the eyelets, mine are different, but they are very similar. The torus has little tiny donuts, so it does look similar in that way. Right. Anyway, let's get this sold. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right. Yeah, I thought an explanation was required. Now, there's quite a few times in... Obviously, I've only been modding for a few months. That's true. There's been a few times when I've torn my hair out almost because things weren't working that really should have worked. So I went out on a limb and something I learnt a long time ago, and I thought, have Giants done what they did with the other things? As in, like, there's a bit more going on in their i3D file than you can actually see, which there often is. I spent hours. One of my first models was trying to make a proper farmhouse, a little one, a very humble one that was cheap for a farmer. And just turn this down a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it'll drown me out because I'm quiet. And I thought, well, I know it works. As in, like, yeah, I couldn't get the pallets to, even though mine was a rope maker, it may be that I'm doing something wrong. It's still not perfect, but this is actually taken from the rope maker i3D, and then I've put my visuals in, which is really, to be honest, what anybody really does with the LOD, as they call them, inside the i3D file, basically. So I went out on a limb and I thought, well, let's just like put your innards on the Giants one and just see if it swallows the wool. And I came in and bet it swallowed it instantly, basically. So I was working on it last night and I could not make it work. And I was like, what is going wrong? So this morning I thought, just go back to what you learned a long time ago that you've not really needed, because this is, yeah, it's blinking a little. That'll be a visual, again, that'll be a little tiny element where I need to just see the extent of this as well. Yeah, it's quite generous. It's lost. It's amazing how actually it seems to need. Obviously, there's a lot of things that nobody tells you in modding at all that you have to learn yourself as you go along. It is one of those learning things. And you saw probably in yesterday's episode, when you like do this, all of a sudden when you get to the right place, you're, again, something not mentioned, but you figure it out for yourself, and basically you then know how to make them appear. It's an unwritten rule that you've got to learn. So, as we saw in yesterday's sessions, for you to actually do that, there's some weird like flickering going on. Like, I think it's the collisions on the. I'm not sure. Well, it's weird, but it's working. Yeah, the distance. The signs are going because of the draw distance, as in like the visual distance. You can put an amount in and it is too small, so I need to adjust that, but again, that's a minor thing. It's actually functioning. The other thing was, what I did look at doing the cornflower. Did I stick the corn in? No, I didn't. It's quite difficult for me to do. I would like to do it over the, I think I've still got maize, as it's called, another thing that's caught me out no end of time. Obviously I think of corn as corn, and everyone probably thinks of corn as corn, but it's written in the variables as maize. So when I put allow corn to like be loaded into the storage area, which you have to do, it flickers too. They all do actually. All of those ones are flickering for some reason. Something, whether I've done something a little bit big. Oh, yeah, I should still have it. Oh, that's a little bit. That's what the occluder mesh does. And it's still got its. It is. I always wondered. I've got to be honest. Again, there's a lot of things that you're going to live and learn. It's got what they call an occluder. It looks like it hides things, including any tractors passing through. So I'm going to have to change that. I've got to be honest. It's one of those things that, as a modder, I keep thinking, what does it do? I can see it in so many models, especially things like manure things, and I thought, what actually does it do? Well, now I know. It sort of like hides things. I would imagine it's probably used then in that case. I apologise for this, they're not very well. Let's do that a bit better. Yeah, especially on things like that. And it's, yeah, obviously used to, I suppose it's probably also used to hide an inside. Do you really want to know this? I suppose I would. Yeah, let's not go too deep. But yeah, I would imagine you probably are, really. How does the magic sort of actually... Oh, no, that you not actually... Yeah, it's... And they should be alright there. Obviously not quite done. No, it's a slight bit of overlap. I had to move everything because the real rope maker, the US rope maker, its warning stripes are all over the place. They are literally so. Again, I've used the proper i3D because it's got something going in. I've also used a proper XML because it'll have something. I'll have missed something in my XML that was necessary. I've still tweaked the amounts exactly to match what I had thought. I've got to be honest, it's a really good business, but as Giant said with the cereal factory, the recipe is almost unusable. It's like so much loss. You put in that was it, 20 wool and you got 3 ropes. I'm like 17 loss. I mean, I'm not being nasty, but I'm quite sure that it's not quite like that bad. It's really in real life. The Grapes and Oils is working, but that's another strange one. Now, I've got no control over how the game... I think I should be able to put this in to the... even though I've still left maize as a... Because I am going to do this. It won't... should accept the corn or the maize, as it's really called, as a variable inside there now. It should. At least it did in test. No, okay. No, it really... I have taken it completely away then. Right, I thought I'd left it in. No more spare capacity. I've got to do the picture as well. That's the only trouble with like rushing in and out. So that's all, yeah. Grapes Enhanced Bakery. No, I really did remove the maize. I think I got cornflower. I left the cornflour. Okay, I left the cornflour but removed the corn. Okay, well that will amend. The only trouble is, with this is we need. I need to do something with this, and we are really hemorrhaging money now. I was on about this in the future, sticking a storage silo down, but I think we might have to put a little multi-fruit down for now. It's just an addition for these. It's not, they're not very expensive. They're one of the most inexpensive things that I created. No, not silos. Not up here. Yeah, it throws me out a little bit. So the little beautiful model that all of these were taken from, if I'm honest. So we need to put it in B mode, and we're going to have to lift. I think it drops down to the ground. It's quite a beautiful thing, that's the grate. Just make sure that I'm not actually... Yeah, I've still left the original dirt. So I've got to do something about that. I keep thinking, I've done all of my cleanups now. Everything's back as it should be, and then I'll see something like that and I think, not quite. You've not quite remembered to do everything. Oh, it doesn't drop down to the ground, actually. Thought it did. Some of them you can say go down to the ground, and it will just go down to the ground. So let's be tidy. Let's make this like level sort of with that area there. And now if that's that'll do. Now we need to lift that up, otherwise it's going to be odd. The back corner looks fairly level to me, so if we go level with that, we should pull just up like so. Not quite. So let's try the bottom there then. And then we need to... The only thing is when you do this the smoothing trick, you really have to go out just a little bit further than you think you do, because the softening is a tough one. So minimum soften, just feather the edges, and you should be pretty much alright. I've not quite done it right though. I've done my level wrong, but almost right. So let's stick that in there. Let's say we are hemorrhaging money though, really are. Let's see, is that bad? Is it going to be quite a bump? I should say it is. Yeah, I think we're going to need to do a lift and then smooth it back down. But we shall see. Let's have a go. Yeah, it is a bit bad. Oh, it is. Yeah, you can see under it. That wasn't quite good enough. I think I must have still had the button on as I did the level from the bottom of the silo, because that should have worked really. But let's do that again. Let's just... if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well, as that old saying so very aptly says. I apologise as well, last night I forgot to load the episodes. So the night before I forgot to do the episodes. Last night I did 4, so that we're straight back where we should be, that nobody's missing any episodes, and that should be there. So we've got the corn in, we've got a little multi-fruit down this end to assist this little lot if their storage is ever full or whatever, and it is very inexpensive. Made, obviously, as you can see, it's quite mucky. It's made from quite reconditioned materials. Yeah, they all are actually. Oh yeah, that's what it is. The occluder definitely does do that. That's what happened on. Yes, now it makes sense. On well, that was though. I think it's got a bit to do with that occluder doing strange things that you're not sure of. Yeah, let me just quickly show you now what I'm on about with the... obviously off camera, when I hit a roadblock like this, I thought, well, then you've got to go to sort of testing, and you don't ever know with testing when you're going to hit when you're going to like find out what is actually the problem and if you're going to fix it. So I really didn't know what was going to happen. So just go grab our forklift, aka the Deutz. Yeah. So I thought, well, hang on a minute, how come this is not working? This is just strange. If I drop these crates, even though it's told... This is one of those weird things. Giants have got that many different ways of doing things, like pallets, Euro pallets, this kind of pallet, a box, and not all boxes are equal. In fact, I don't think, if I remember rightly, I think if you hover this, you don't ever unfill them. Obviously some things you can like do that and they will literally unload. I don't think I can quite get in right. Now if I go in that, it'll say unload, but what I mean is you can't automatically unload these, really. So what I found was you can lose tip, and they're very slow. The boxes are very slow. I might need to make special boxes if this is what we've got to do, because obviously there's certain things I'm not in control of that like Giants have so it'll only fill these now anyway. So we're going to like do this. I'm going to go into a time lapse because otherwise it's going to take forever to do this, but we're going to like have to unfortunately fill this a very slow way to begin with until I figure out how to like do this in a better way. But we're doing grapes, let's be honest, that's all that matters, and we've got quite a lot of them. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. The other thing I'm going to say is I think I figured that out, and it is fairly obvious, but it's strange when you're looking at things in a methodical way. That to me, I'm aiming for about 24 tonnes in a year from the productions. That is what I'm aiming for, because it's a big production. It might look like a little one, but it's a big production. So we want. So yeah, this to me is a perfect amount for the year. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I've got rather a large dump place for this. Yeah, what it is the unload and the load trigger in the same place, which means that when those boxes of olives, I think of what they were, when the boxes of olives drop, that's my morning alarm to say wake up. Yeah, so when the olives drop, they immediately drop on the load back in trigger, and then they start to disappear. So it's a simple solution to a simple problem is that I've got to shift the loads trigger to a slightly different spot, so they don't keep doing that. You can notice if you push the boxes quickly, you probably can like stop the unloading happening, because the last two we're outside of it. But what I'll do is I will properly fix it so that it's not going to do that. What we're gonna have to do is a bit of trickery for now, though. I think. Again, I think the olives. I think the olives were a bit more. For some reason, I really don't get how it works, because if you look carefully at the stats, they're identical. And yeah, I was a bit confused yesterday when I was looking in Edison. I was thinking, you Wally, they say more because they're the yeah, no, it's strange. The ones that spawn at the back, they actually are resistive of that. So let's try and push them quickly. The things you've got to do, seriously. It's my fault though, it is. So you've got to like race against time to see, can you make any of these like not do that? There's going to be a lot in there, so we'll just load a little bit for now. We'll load all that we've got here, and then next time we'll do this a bit different. I just wanted to get like some of them in and to sort of try and figure out, and that's really my it is live modding. I know that's not me, that's me standing on the shoulders of giants. I thought it was perfect. Another content creator, I didn't watch what was going on in the channel, but I did actually see so another box has landed that's okay as well. Yeah, he was like myself, he's doing modding and actually doing let's plays as well, and he called it live modding. I thought, what an excellent title. I thought it really was brilliant, so I'm going to go with it as well myself, because it's definitely live modding. So we're going to go in, I'm going to design buildings. I would thought of sheds, but I thought I'd got enough on. This is the trouble, when you get problems, you've got to sort your problems out until they're no longer problems. That's the sort of reality to things. And that's obviously your job first. Then when you fix them on another let's play, everything's going to work nicely. Now, if we wait for one more spawn this end, if there's enough, we should get the last two boxes, which is not bad actually. It's not the 24 tons of the others, but I'd just like to, we need to earn a bit. We obviously did we not, we had 100,000. We had 100 grand. Why have we only got like 22,760? Have I placed another building down? No, we placed all three. We did. No, I remember we spent 80 odd grand, so it's legit, all right. Let's wait for one more. Let's like do a little bit. I'd say, because this now is we're trying to earn the cash from the business. We also need to do the same with I think it'll be the same with the rice. So I'm going to go back into that time. That's going to do the same with the rice. With the corn, I will do it. I know how to do it. It's quite a big project, but I'd like to do it because it's again learning how to do something. So let's put 20 tons in. So yeah, I'm going to do it. You have to make. No, I won't bore you with that. That is mega boring. Most people will not be interested in like the mechanics of gaming. I'll try and keep it as like normal as possible. Not everybody wants to be a modder. Trust me, that is true. I was watching one of Lambo's videos yesterday because my next project I wanted to be doing some vehicles, but I seem to, at the minute, if you're doing let's plays like we are doing with this, you sort of, your jobs kept going, keep doing like different models or adapting models, all that type of stuff. So yeah, this is the only bad bit about using this kind of thing, is you've got to then fill the things. But I mean, I've got to be honest, olive oil, as we saw, this is probably one of the best oils. I think it probably is, because normally growing these is exceptionally difficult, as I know, having had olive groves on Agros balconies, and I had quite a large olive grove, a set of olive groves, and I've got to be honest, after I did all the work, I was like, what, 8,000 litres of like olives from that little lot? It's took me hours to do that. I'm like, Gordon Bennett, and that's when I thought, nah, the productions are the way to go. If you're going to do that type of thing, it's all a representation. You've got to obviously do the work, but I mean, you are paying people to assist you with the greenhouses, and that's the truth. So I'm going to like move the unload not to be in the same place as the load. Yeah, you don't have to have them. It's only me being me. That's a point though. But if that's the case, then how come this one is unaffected? I don't get it. Why that one's a bit, yeah, because these would like now go and they're not. So half of this, we're gonna like, yeah, 48 tons. We only want 24 tons. The other we're gonna like sell, but we're gonna like destroy the money just to equalise. It's now adjusted. It will now only do 24 tons, which I think is about right. Otherwise, it does make a mockery. I thought I'd done. No, I haven't done the fill plane on the soil. I can now do that. So yeah, I did figure that one out. Although it looks a little bit odd. I think I've quite got it right. But I don't know where the fill plane is for like manure, so I can tweak away until I got that right. But I only did it on the new ones, the new models, which obviously I wish these ought to be that kind of model. Because obviously, as I said yesterday, when I stretched these originally, it was just to sort of like see, is this the right way to do it? I wanted to make a big greenhouse. So me being me, I thought, well, but again, it's a valuable lesson. Everything teaches you a lesson. You shouldn't ever really think, no, don't do that. You'll figure out for yourself, like i3Ds are very delicate and all this type of thing, and what you can and can't do, and that sometimes certain things are hidden within an i3D, or there's something in a production. There is something at the top of a production, and I think it could be that it basically points to a file within like Giants to say, look, I'm a rope maker and this is how I work. I was thinking, I thought I'd put that into my production, and if I don't do that, it won't work. It really is as simple as that. So I think that was what I missed. And if it was, then it wouldn't work as a rope maker, and it really is as simple as that. So with that theory in mind, next time I face this type of problem, instead of ripping the i3D file from, which of course you're supposed to if you're going to mod something, that's, you know, what it sounds right nasty when I say ripping. What I mean is I copy the files from the mod, and then I make it into a legitimate mod with the file that makes it into a mod in the mod folder, basically. Right, this is yeah. So 24. That's it. 25 tons. This is the amount I'm allowing, and that lot will sell or destroy. I could sort of be clever. If what I could do is remove the storage from that and leave just a couple of thousand in. It doesn't like you to leave zero in. If you have got an amount in, yeah, I mean, I did start in FS25 to tweak a lot with XMLs. I don't mean ever to cheat. That I hate cheating with a vengeance. I'd just rather not play than to cheat at all. But in around the world in 80 days, I had to learn to like move things around a lot. So I figured out a lot, and it sort of made me. I've always been interested in mechanics, always. When I used to sort of play role-playing games as a kid, like dice games, like AD&D and all those type of things. Well, actually, Rollmaster, actually, not AD&D. I never was a massive fan of that. But I'm not against it. But what I mean is, Ice Rollmaster was like an absolutely amazing set of rules. Showing my, it's true, it is true. I used to love that type of thing. I was often the game master because I actually liked the mechanics. It really interested me how things work, and I've always had that kind of mind where that is it. So right now then, I believe that is everything sort of set going, because we really are now trying to do, so we want to do, got to stick the bread, have I left the corn flour in still? I have, yeah, so that's why it says that, because that really is missing. So I want to activate that one, and, oh no, we don't, we haven't got any normal. We do want to activate that, and we should have. Oh, don't tell me I've not put it in this story. I have. Oh no, I've not activated the grain rice making, so that should go away almost instantly. Again, I've left this at what I did before. Again, you will see loss is like a minimal. I may have gone a little bit... No, because rice was the super thing. That's right. So that really should be like that. I put oats back to like gaining. So really, I think rice... Actually, it's that rice that gains a lot. Yeah, this one lost quite a bit. So that one's about right, I should say, for what we've done it. So I shall have another go at like corn flour another time. So we've got that rope maker. Have we switched the rope maker on? And the other thing is, I'm not sure. One of my greenhouses, I was saying about, it's got to be like, as I always do. It's always everyone else's fault. It's never Mr. Smith's. It's true, but yeah, you can sort of see. We've not activated anything. We've not got any canola oil, have we? So, right, grape juice we want to activate, and we want to activate... Oh, no, we have got, olives. Olive oil, raisins. No, we've not got any rice oil, but this is something to aim for in the future, really. Again, is a point, actually, which is, I think, actually... I don't know that rice oil is... I did do it. I did it for a while, but again, the amount of rice you get was like... So we've got that going, and that going, and that going. No, sorry, that bread and rice flour to make bread. That's what we've got, and that's what we did it for. So like I'm happy with that. So we've got grape juice, olive oil, and raisins, all going nicely. So that's another business. And let's just check these. They are all glowy. No, they are. I thought I'd not switch one on, but I have. So I don't understand why one's working and one isn't, sort of thing. I've got to get the picture sorted out. So we've got 12,000 litres of wool, and we have not activated that. So again, that's heavily adjusted. I've got some loss. You would lose some. I've lost a quarter, and I think that's fair dues, if I'm honest. But as in to lose 3/4, I think that's a little bit excessive. So I've adjusted the thing. So really now it's a waiting game. I think we've fed our animals. Didn't we borrow? Yeah, are we going to buy that TPS? We can't. Yeah, there's not. That was a mod I really like. We can actually just buy it, but you can't do that, can you? So I think next session we will do, we might link this because there's been quite a lot of time lapses. So really, it's only a few minutes have actually gone. We're going to get this little lot all grabbed off this. Yes, I'm quite pleased with that. It's not quite right, but you can see that. You can see it's vaguely. It's also got a bit of like, you can sort of see through it. So I think perhaps I have to put the dirt and then put that on top. But I thought it was at least a valiant effort, and I've got my BI. And so I think we'll put the soil underneath, and then we'll put that manure on top. I'm probably not used the fill plane right. I found out where it was, but I might need to find out how others use that fill plane to actually use it properly. So, the grass as well. We haven't got any way of grabbing that at the minute, have we? No, we haven't. So next session we shall get this little lot, and there is a lot inside as well. Actually, that is the point. No, we need the cash, even though it will earn a little bit extra for all of these for taking it to our sell point. So we're gonna do that definitely, rather than do it selling directly, which we would make some cash, but again we are cash strapped after sticking all of our... I didn't turn then, it'd be me. So we'll stick that in there, and we'll hopefully get we'll soon fill that. We will. So that's next session's work. We've not done badly though over this last couple of sessions. We've shifted the bales. We've got the straw, which we stuck around the back, and this is ready to rock and roll. Which I'm trying to think what we'll do. We might do oats. I might do oats. Could just about set that going right now. Actually, I think for next session. Because I do love the way that the work is now, then that's something we need to do. If we're going to do that, we need to paint an edge of grass. Otherwise, it doesn't know where to. And I've sort of shown this works many times on quite a few Let's Plays. You really have got to do a bit the old painting trick. It does show the workers where your fields end, and especially course play as well. So that painting should link. It also does work for your standard workers, so let's grab... it's the little one, and it's going to take a while with that, but hey ho, it is what it is. I think I'll probably take over Or do we go oils? No, I think we'll stick to the plan. Oh, we've already got it filled. Oh, it's not a no-till. It isn't. Actually, this is true. So it looks like we're going to have to grab the... Yeah, this is where the 6 metre plough feels awfully inadequate when you like doing something like this. Do we do some else instead? But because the 6 metre plough is inadequate, I don't really think that it's not inadequate. On a field, when it gets to a certain stage, you like feel, oh my life, I can do the bigger plough. But it will, like many farmers in Great Britain, we will have to make do with what we've actually got. You can't just like suit yourself. We don't really need loud creative fields. I'll just set this going, and I might even leave this while I go down to breakfast. So for once, I'm not going to show it. It's going to probably bump into things. Where I've got, yeah, there's a lot of painting though. Yeah, so I'm going to say my goodbyes. Next session we'll get that done. I'm going to leave that going, and I'll in fact I won't say goodbye. No, we're going to link this up. We'll yeah, so hopefully see you. In fact, no, I don't say anything at all, do I? No, I'll just link it. Yeah, so see you shortly. Right, back. Yeah, the worker was busy, but like they crashed into this little lot, so, and they can't figure out how to like just get it sorted, so thought we'd just, to be honest, I think once the trouble is they go back. Yeah, they do. They did, while I was down at breakfast, they literally did almost all of the field. It was always the headlands they struggle with. Let's not try and go around corners. And then we'll set them going, I think, on this bit here. And they'll probably still bang. What I thought I'd do is, while we start to load, I'll keep this going. Right, we're going to change this to headlands. And I believe they're supposed to listen, so we should actually have a look at whether this is fixed. Having heard many times from giants that they would fix things, and like being terribly disappointed many times, we shall see. I mean, they've always been an argumentative bunch, these AI workers, so let's just see. Look like you're pleased there. Yeah, you are. Fantastic. Excellent. Right, so we're nearly done. That was quite amazing. We'll set the... Yeah, we're going to have to borrow... Yeah, because we need... yeah, we've got to set this going, really. With the... we've obviously only got 3, but it can manage it, so... I realise I've got zone markers on. So we want oats. We have decided, being as we've got the bakery, it does seem not a bad thing to actually do. So we're going to need a bit more fertiliser than that, though. That I definitely know. And of course, someone's parked a trailer in the way. Can we sort of gently nudge that underneath the... Should be able to. Okay. Come on, you temperamental thing. Very temperamental. I have found this before as well, because we haven't got the solid fertilizer, but it's very, very, like, the seeds seem to want to pop way, way before. Ah, okay, we got it. Fantastic. Right. I do think the amounts are wrong, really, but hey ho. Right, let's set you going. You'll probably yeah. They seem to automatically choose the up and the down. So while they're doing that, I'm going to go straight into a time lapse because we have a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of like loading and unloading to do. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. that as too shady a thing. Bearing in mind that is a full year of the greenhouses, though, it's not fantastic, but it's not a bad single business, really. It's still a bit. I don't quite work out how why we've had to stunt the growth of certain crops. It's obviously is that something goes on that Giants does do with them to make it actually do like this. It is a shame about this. It really is. It is my favourite trailer. A little starting, really reasonable priced one. It's not my favourite trailer full stop, but it is one of them. It really is. And to sort of see it not quite working right, I'm sure Sir Eagle will be on it at some point. So it's like it hits collisions, like tip collisions or something, and it does that weird thing. I have the same on Cavalier Roy's map. If it's slightly bumpy, it seems to catch it too. And the post, when it should be solid, it's like ethereal, as you saw when it went into the ground, and when it should be ethereal, it's solid. It's doing something like a reversal of what it should be doing. So we're going to return that. It still did a very good job, all things considered. Really, oh my life, the repairs on these big tractors. Yeah, the fact it's one thing I don't look forward to about owning a fence. Right, so then I think, other than we haven't got a roller, which I know we had an opportunity to have the roller, but we really... Yeah, so it's 72,000 though. That is really quite a lot of maps dropped today. Oh, okay. You're obviously... Oh, do you know, seriously. We'll do it ourselves. Did a cracking job on this though. Very little interference. So this should all be good, and it was ploughed, so we shouldn't get weeds. Not really. I've got to be honest, even corn is a pleasure to actually, and sugar beet is used to be on FS22, used to devour, and no, it was FS22, used to devour seed really badly, and now not so much. An update on Ola Haldor's map. Beautiful, 3 tractors. I'm well loving this, and a good set of equipment as well. It is I don't understand why the bales are like small. The square ones are like small, and that's the biggest size. It's really, they even look small. They don't look large. It's rather strange. Yeah, these are. I've realised I haven't done anything to these. Literally, I just put them in. Or I have. I've coloured the ironwork that was grey into red. I've gone the BI Industries colour for that, and I've got the BI Industries on this. But obviously, this is the spawn point. Which is something in my rush to get them done this morning and come in to see whether it was actually working. As you can see, this end is sunk down a little bit because it does it exactly. So this must be a lower greenhouse than the other one. So it's a point actually. We were going to get rid of, let's just check to see, we could always sort of buy some loose olives, do these 2, so that I can put the new models in. I really would like to do that, just so that I can... let's have a look. Let's have a look at what we've got in there. Because legitimately, not that... Yeah, it's the small... I've got to get the picture done on that. Yeah, through swapping it this morning, I've not got any pictures for it. So we have... Yeah, the olives... Oh, not a lot, though. Not really. It's this one here that's got like a lot. So yeah, 20 tons of long grain rice. We'll let ourselves, the manure's not expensive anyway, and the water's free. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to do this now. And have I got the new... no, I haven't. No, I've not got the new model ready. I don't think. I'm sure I didn't do that because I knew that it wasn't going to work on this right now. So I thought there's no real point. But it is also the fact that I've got the... I don't know why these are not affected, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that is about 25. There's probably 2 tons that are our own on that lot. And, yeah, those 2 are the only ones that are going to remain. But just have a quick look. I'm almost 100% positive that I didn't, because I knew that I wasn't going to have to do these. Oh, that's the greenhouse for rice happening. So it is the... I'm not sure if I actually changed. Yeah, whether I left the price exactly as they were, because they're really not going to be that. Yeah, these are reconditioned. Huh. So how come I've got mine in if, like, they're not here? Oh, hang on. No, that's the... Yeah, that's another modders. It is the... it's not a tarp one either. No, it's got to be large, isn't it? That's the large. But that's the standard one. But it has... Yeah, it is manure type one. So I don't know what I've done with the price. Because there's no mod crashes or anything like that. So I'm going to have a... Yeah, a look on what I've done, because if I'd done it wrong, it wouldn't be in the game. I could have called it another glass greenhouse, and it might actually not be the glass greenhouse, because I think... Did I just bring the i3D? I might have done. It may be that. So we'll have a go next session. I'll try and get that sorted. Most things are alright. Yeah, again, I was panicking over a lot of things. That's why I did a bit of testing first thing, just to make sure. But obviously, yeah, that is a completely new... yeah, I would imagine if I put that down, Imagine, no, I did adjust them all. Yeah, the levelling and the... obviously, that was the original rope maker from the US map. And it's a monster, so... It's got an awful lot of stuff, and I had to adjust practically everything to make it work. But it's one of those things. I think it is me. I'm not gonna, because I'm always very good at blaming everybody else. I always say, "Oh, it's Giants." Well, again, sometimes it's because you don't really know enough about modding. I'm learning, but again, and you're not no one's an expert. Even the experts aren't total experts, although there are very. Wow, look at that little baby. That is just amazing. Can you imagine how big those big ones really are? The storage they'd have in those giant silos in comparison to that beautiful little one there. It's quite amazing. It just looks so dwarfed by the behemoths right next to it. I do love the shapes, though. They really are quite amazing how they can scrunch together and they still get an awful lot in. I really do think I was sort of thinking about it when I was thinking about the design of a perfect sort of building, and I was thinking silos are the best for storage, really, and obviously the bigger the silo actually height wise. I first did them much bigger and they were much wider, and I thought Omatana taught me something, and that was not when I was modding, but when I was just a player, and I thought her buildings are quite amazing. I mean, I know they're not, there's no way you get as much in, and we all know that. But I thought, yeah, but that's it. I want to go one step, not better. I'm not trying to this is not a competition between me and Omatana because she'd win. But for realism, I thought I want really to have something that really would have quite a lot of storage. You can see from that even if you went between the metal bands, which I would imagine were quite high, you could get at least 4 floors in that. Even if one was dedicated to storage, and often there's bits underneath as well, the storage bins too, because obviously in most of them you tip them in a grate. Now you could or couldn't say, I mean, obviously there's always a bit of magic that's not realistic, but I thought, well, I think that's about as close to realism and as like a lot of storage in quite a large building, but obviously it's all reclaimed materials too, so it's reasonably priced. But yeah, I just thought it was the most realistic type of shape. And also you do get reconditioned silos. I mean, as in like ones that are like, yeah. So I thought it was sort of realistic-ish. Yeah, I mean, as much as any of this game is realistic in that way. Right, so yeah, I think really that is it. So up to 72,910. Let's just have a quick look what this is. I know it'll need rolling. That's all though. Yeah, absolutely. So that's not bad at all. Of course, this will be ready quite quickly. Let's just make sure I've stuck everything in. Yeah, so we've got I keep thinking the barley's on. It's not. It's just so the bread rice flour and the rice flour long grain, which we've got all of that. It's so that we're not cheating. I've literally got all of that that's like ours, and the rest I am going to just destroy the greenhouse, and then all of that 20 odd tons it might give us the cash. It's still not full price though, and we can give that back, yeah, if that's the case. So I'm not worried about it. So then we've got the grapes and the oils. We have 20 tons of olives. We've got a couple left, which really are ours, and 23 tons, with 24 tons of grapes again, which is all ours. But that really was the whole shebang. So that actually was right. The olives, they're not far off either, actually. I should say 24 tonnes, not too terrible. It is supposed to be a really large greenhouse, like the long plastic one. So olive oil, yeah, so olive and grape. We've got the raisins being produced, and yeah, everything's going up, so it's all good. And then we've got other oils that we can do too, although, yeah, they're not, the olives are really good. Canola's not. It's only because it's hard economy. They're good normally, but like really, yeah. So no, it's this one. It is a large tarp greenhouse, but I don't think you'll find, just because that's what its name is, that it actually is. When you look at the model that I've done, it's going to be classed as something else. I just can't see it. So something's not quite right with it. But I know what I did. I literally swapped the XML file in for this, so that's why it appeared as in, like, because I want to change my models. So again, all reclaimed metal, and obviously plastic's cheap anyway, so we do almost all of our things because of BI Industries. We're all farmers. It's what on Lone Oak we founded the cooperative, and we try to do things that are reasonably priced and pass back. I still make a little bit of money, but we're not really in it for that. We're all, well, not me personally. Otherwise, why am I working on a farm? But yes, they're all millionaires. We won't ask. I must be paying a huge amount of alimony to my wife or something like that, who's bleeding me dry. Hence the fact that we keep making farms that are like end with millions, and I'm still a pauper. But it's part of the magic. It really is. Otherwise, what would you do with the game? So let's go through, I think, at least till tomorrow morning, and then I think that is it. Just check the sales, because occasionally you can have things drop later on. Yeah, neither are worth. I like that. I tried it in Riverbend Springs. Yeah, that's the one. Again, the front cultivators always had a bit of a sort of like it's a good idea, but I'm not sure it actually sort of works, because as you turn in, you're cultivating, and you don't always. You'd have to have a perfect 4.5 meter like behind you, and there'd have to be. There was another one in FS22. I love the idea of it. I jumped on it straight away, and I thought, it doesn't quite. Yeah, I ended up ploughing over some of the sowing that I was doing, and I was like, oh, this is not working well. So then you've got to lift the front, sort of cultivating, should I say. Then you've got to lift your cultivator, and I'm like, lift, raise, down, cycling through the equipment, and I'm like, I'm not sure, all things considered, that this is actually worth all of the efforts, because of the hassle, and that I'd got to go over the whole field again just for a few little bits that I'd got plough marks, cultivating marks and stuff like that. So yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how much we do in the morning. Now rope obviously sells like for a lot, but we're not going to make an absolute well, I hope not, because I'm going to adjust it if we do. I'm not aiming to. I'm aiming for realism, and I'm aiming for good solid productions that are good, but like obviously this is on hard economy as well. Fantastic. Oh, no, that was a good tick up for a change. It really was. So we shouldn't see any weeds, but we will check. So this year we should be weed free, because we actually totally did this without any. Yeah. Oh, a little tight. Yeah, just along the edge. Just a lot of stone though. They didn't really take up too much room in that corner, really. It could have been an awful lot worse. So yeah, it didn't work out too bad in that far corner. I was going to scatter them all the way up, but as I was putting them, I thought, well, that one would go just there. And then I thought, oh yeah, but and that one would just go there. And by the time I finished, as you can see, and the little, my tiny silo as well, the tiny multi-fruit. It's really is quite amazing. I've got a much bigger one, a really tall one, about the same thickness, but really, really a lot taller. That we've got on Frankenmuth, which I should be doing a few more episodes. It's just I've got to keep posting the other. Oh wow! So 2.5 bales of 2,500 litres. Wow, 120 out of 160. Whoa, that is. I would imagine the first births are probably adults now. Nearly, very close. So we will have 80 that are producing wool very, very shortly, and obviously they're 2 months old as well. So there's only one more set of births, and this is going to be full, I believe. Yeah, 160 animals because of how big the it's not 160 normally. It's because of how big the that pasture is that it's so good. Let's have a quick look. So 81,000, and the class carrot. It is a good price. The carrot is a real beauty. It is. It's true. Probably got to pay for the extension, but it is worth it. It's a good cracking. I'm trying to think. We've got the biggie. We were talking about buying one. That's mine's 7,777 though. Yeah, it's true. I keep forgetting about that fact really, that my super duper one is, and it also goes to like a bale trailer too. So really, that's a no, which is a shame. It really is. This is growing nicely, so we've got that to. Oh yeah, let's have a look at our production. No, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to say my goodbyes, and then I'm going to do that in the summing up stage. Obviously, yeah, I'm going to adjust these so that the menu is not. Well, I think I might adjust the pallet spawn to be just past that. That'd be the easiest solution. I knew that this one was going to be tricky. I knew it was going to be tight. I think I said that when I actually put it down. So, yeah. But I say if I change the spawn spot, it should be reasonable, really. I don't think there's much. No, I think we're really close to the edge of the road. It's a good job, actually. There's only enough space, really, to just do that. And you can see it has sunk down lower. And we've also got a couple of casualty pallets that I'm not sure I'm going to get. Yeah, did try to get that one, but it's literally in the plastic. So yeah, you can see we're still not doing badly. For saying we emptied this all yesterday, that doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, not really. Yeah, I mean that doesn't seem too terrible. I mean, it's not. You're not going to earn a fortune, but what we got, I suppose. I mean, a normal economy that would have been a lot of cash. It really is not bad at all. So we're going to leave there in April. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.